everyone, Dr. Amy Abelar with Acupuncture Practice Systems. And something I've noticed is that there's a lot of acupuncturists that are self-employed who never wanted to own a business in the first place. And this is because there's not very many jobs available. Most people who started acupuncture school were super excited to learn Chinese medicine and then graduate and be able to help treat patients. That was what they wanted their main focus to be, was the medicine and the patients. But a lot of acupuncturists graduate to find that there's not a lot of acupuncture jobs available. And so then you're stuck in the situation of, if I want to practice acupuncture or I want to practice Chinese medicine, I'm going to have to open my own practice. And that's very discouraging for people who really just wanted to practice the medicine. They didn't want to practice business. Unfortunately, when we find ourselves in that situation of not having a job available and having to open our own clinic in order to treat patients, then we need to be able to figure out what is the easiest, fastest, best way for us to figure out what the business side is, enough that we can have the kind of practice that we want to have and spend time treating patients. So that's one of the big things that I talk about in acupuncture practice systems. Is my goal is not to just turn everybody into an entrepreneur and have everybody grow this amazing, gigantic business, right? If you are someone who wants to grow a big business and you want to hire a bunch of employees and you want a front desk person and you want other acupuncture associates, you want to rent rooms out, all the things, I got you. Been there, done that, grown a huge thing. And if that's something you're interested in, the clinical architect tier of acupuncture practice systems is absolutely for you. But there's a lot of acupuncturists who don't meet that criteria. They're not interested in growing a big business. They might not even be interested in having a front desk person. They just want to practice the medicine. But in order to practice the medicine, we need to have patients. And in order to have patients, we need to have marketing. We need to have our website be set up correctly. We need to make sure that we are legally established as a practice the way we're supposed to be. We need to make sure that the space we're renting is zoned appropriately. We need to make sure that if we're using a business name, that it is actually licensed and available for us to use and that it doesn't belong to someone else. We need to brand ourselves. We need to get social media accounts. We need to make sure our websites are user-friendly and ADA compliant. We need to, there's so much that goes into just even being self-employed, not having any employees, but making sure that your practice is full of patients so that you can do the part that you love, which is treating people, right? So acupuncture practice systems, the flow and the roots level, those are for acupuncturists who are not necessarily interested in growing some big practice, but they want referrals from other healthcare providers. They want their schedule to be full. They want systems in place. They want to know how to recommend treatment plans for people. They want to know what to say when clients ask them questions about acupuncture. They want to be able to have that confidence when they're talking to patients. All of that stuff is important, and all of that stuff is in roots and flow. So if you are an acupuncturist, whether you started out wanting to be self-employed or you found yourself being self-employed because there wasn't a job available, now we're in that situation and let's make the most of it. My goal with acupuncture practice systems is to make practice ownership and to make your self-employment practice as smooth as possible so that you don't spend a lot of time banging your head against the wall doing the business side of things that you don't want to do anyways. I want to make it easier for you so that you can do the parts that you love, which is the treating patients piece. So if you are interested in checking out acupuncture practice systems, I would watch the YouTube video that I have on a tour inside acupuncture practice systems so you can see the kind of content that's available for you, or you can check out our website in the link in the description.